which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, amendment or approval of the agenda. I would like to ask, is there any amendments required, or can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion. Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we have our first item is the well testing report from the Environmental Commission.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Nick Carney. I'm a member of the Green Team currently. Alongside me is the head of the Environmental Commission, David. First of all, I just want to thank you guys for allowing us a spot in the agenda tonight to be able to go over this well testing report. So to begin, private well owners are responsible for testing and maintaining the safety of their drinking water. Each year, the Raritan Township Environmental Commission partners with the Raritan Headwaters Association to provide information and the opportunity to test their well for contamination of concerns. The Raritan Headwaters Association has prepared an annual well testing reports from 2022 to 2025. In addition, a watershed-based analysis conducted between 2011 and 2017 provide insight into geographic patterns of potential contamination within the township. So tonight, I'm going to be going over the trend of the number of well tests that were collected, the change in contaminate exceedance over time, historical data trends under the Private Well Testing Act, so essentially comparing Raritan Township numbers to New Jersey, since that data is publicly available. And we'll go over some geographic patterns of contamination based on the watershed analysis to see where more contamination exceedance are occurring across Raritan Township. So to start off, nice and simple, the trend of the well kits collected. Participation has fluctuated with highs in 2022 and 2024 of 92 respectively. In 2023, we've had 68, and 2025 there was 65. To maintain stronger participation, I encourage everyone who has a private well to get tested annually. For our next part, we'll be going over contamination trends. So we'll start off with a few of the ones that should be tested, pretty much every year, the first two. So we have chloroform bacteria. So we saw an average of about around 20% in the Raritan Township. The state, for comparison, the state of New Jersey shows about 2.2% of wells exceed standard, so it is quite a little bit high. So essentially, 2022, 20% exceeded, 2023, 22, then when it dropped to 19, back to 22. For nitrate, we saw very good numbers here. 2022, 24, and 25, we saw 0, while in 2023, we saw 1.1. And to compare it with the state of New Jersey, we typically see about 2.7% of wells exceed that standard, so that is pretty good for us. Now we move on to arsenic. From 2022 to 2025, we saw about 5.8, 12.8, 9.3, down to 6.9. For comparison, the state of New Jersey sees about 8.3% of their wells exceed this contamination. I also want to point out real quick that the Raritan Township and the state of New Jersey use very different MCLs, or essentially the maximum capacity or the exceedance. So, for example, the state of New Jersey uses how they measure their MCL is at 4,000 PCI per liter, and for Raritan Township it's 2,000. So while some of these numbers are going to be pretty high compared to the state of New Jersey, which is about 16%, it is important to know we do use different metrics. We don't have the specific data, like we don't know what one well tested at whatever their exceedance, we don't know that specifically. We only know what the MCL is. So I can't tell you 22% of wells tested between 2,000 and 4,000. I can only tell you which ones exceeded 2,000. So from 22 to 25, we got 35.3, 18.2, 21.7, and 53.8. But as I said previously, those numbers are skewed. Some of the stuff that we might not typically find in groundwater, or especially as well, PFAS, there are a lot of limited sample size. For instance, we usually only get about 7 wells that we test for this specifically, since it's not very common. So for 2022 and 2023, got 0%. There were some exceedance, that were observed, so for instance, in 2 of 7 wells that exceeded for PFOS, and 3 of 7 wells, exceeded in 2024, for PFOA, and in, for PFOA in 2025 as well, 20%, yeah, I said that wrong. So, yeah, PFOA in 2024 and 2025 tested, for 20% and 29, whereas 2 of 7 tested for, high for, PFOS. We also tested lead, which is again not common. Typically, we don't see in the state of New Jersey exceeds 10%. So in 2022, we got 4%, followed by 0, 9, and then 0 again. So that's pretty good numbers there. Finally, we're going to go to geographic patterns. So I'm going to start out with just a little note, and then we're going to go into kind of visually where this all is represented. So this is, like I said before, historical well testing data from 2011 to 2017 were analyzed to identify geographic patterns of contamination within Raritan Township and its surrounding watershed. The analysis showed that higher contaminant levels tend to occur in certain areas rather than being evenly distributed across the township. Naturally occurring contaminants such as arsenic and radon were more common in areas with specific geological formations where minerals in the bedrock can dissolve into groundwater. Bacterial contamination, including total chloroform, appeared more scattered and is likely related to local factors such as nearby septic systems, agricultural activities, or surface water entering wells. Nitrate levels are generally low, although occasional high concentrations were observed in areas with more agriculture or septic system use. Overall, the results suggest that arsenic and radon levels are mainly influenced by local geology, while bacteria and nitrate are most likely related to nearby land use and environmental conditions. Continued well testing helps identify areas of concerns and allows residents to monitor the quality of their drinking water. To get a little bit more of a visual representation of where we can find this within our township specifically, we see for chloroform, we see higher concentrations in the midwestern part of the township that is north of Route 12, and the mideastern part of the township of north of Route 202. And we also have a hot spot in the southmost part of the township west of Route 202-31. For arsenic, we observed high concentrations in the midwestern part of the township south of Route 12, as well as higher concentrations in the southern part of the township west of Route 202. For gross alpha, we observed higher concentrations in the western part of the township south of Route 12, and higher concentrations in the northern part of the township west of Route 31. With radon, there's just a couple of hot spots, that's not too much of a concern. And finally, we observed VOCs present in the north and west of Route 31. Well contamination along Route 31 from Commerce Street to Walter Friend with the overlap with Flemington Borough, and as well as Pennsylvania Avenue near the river. And I will take any questions, comments, or concerns at this time because this is the end of the report.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Any questions?
There's a lot of information at the end there, so.
Yeah.
There's a lot to digest there.
I find it very informative. I'm a little bit concerned with the bacteria, and I think you did provide some plausible reasons, but is there any recommendations or next steps? What would you suggest?
Well, so every year we do partner with Raritan Headwaters, so people really should be trying to get out there. We usually hold it in the fall. So any more advertising support from the committee would be greatly appreciated. We also have to do more on our part in order to get the word out there, because many people probably didn't even realize we had resources available like this. So I think just overall that and just a little bit more education. There's probably a lot of people who maybe don't realize the kind of implications of not testing their well regularly if you have. I've heard a few stories. I know the deputy mayor also shared a story during her last meeting about a friend of hers and her water, or her well. I remember there was another story I heard about, like there were frogs living in there and they didn't know because they're not really testing it regularly. So more education on that part, which could be helped by us, but also just a little bit more advertising, so people know that we do this, we offer this for the entire township, and that could be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, and if you don't know, then you can't get it fixed, so
Exactly.
I appreciate it.
I wanna make sure there were frogs in the well.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Well, I mean, if you don't, the same way, like, all of a sudden, there are animals living in certain areas, you don't know, you don't check, they do a good job hiding it.
If mowers hit the top of the well,
They-
and that's moved.
Yeah.
When I lived in Raritan, I had well waters.
About 80% of our residents are on majority of residents that, you know, and I think the number of homes that got tested year over year is a little low for the number of homes
Yeah.
that rely upon, wells. So we'll make a concerted effort with the
Yeah.
recommendations.
Yeah, naturally, like, there's, like, for the trends, it's hard to find, like, specifically what could have went, or just like how many people show up.
You probably need more data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, it's still pretty sufficient enough to give us a somewhat of analysis of it.
I mean, we're seeing that even when we have our new septics that are coming in, right?
Yes.
We're putting, you know, different systems on their well water, you know, to keep it clean and keep it safe. So that information is very good, and it's gonna be a very positive thing for the community to understand more about what they're.
Yeah, they probably don't realize they could also be potentially adding, other than just like the septic, what that can bring as well to their boil water.
Great, thank you very much.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you. See you guys Thursday.
All right, public comment on agenda items only. So this is the policy of the Township Committee, that public comment be limited to 3 minutes per person. Public comment shall be permitted on items concerning the agenda. Additional time will be allotted at the end of the meeting for public comments on any issue. Do I have a motion to open public comment?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, seeing none, motion to close public comment.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Next is, resolution 26-480, the 2026 municipal budget introduction. Something we've been working on for a very long time as a township, and so I do have a couple prepared words before we introduce this, resolution. So as you all know, one of the primary responsibilities of the Township Committee is to ensure the safety of our community, but also to remain faithful stewards of your resources. And I want to provide some transparency regarding our finances and the budget. As of last year, 69% of your property taxes go directly to schools. Another 17% go to the county. Only 13% of your property taxes are going to the municipality's operations. While the township acts as a way to collect and distribute to those entities, we manage a small fraction of the total. And we strive to provide the highest possible value for every dollar. This year we faced some really significant challenges. Most notably, I think everyone is aware that we were presented with an unavoidable increase in healthcare costs, 39%. It's well over $900,000 in an increase. Additionally, I think everyone was well aware of the snowstorms we had and the winter we had. Our DPW did a fantastic job. We never ran out of salt. The roads were always as safe as they could be, as quick as they could be. But that does come at a cost, and it was well over $300,000 just in 2026 storms. So those are things that's well above average and things that we have to contend with. I want to extend my gratitude and praise to our business administrator, Karen Gilbert, but also our CFO, Dale Melville. Their leadership, along with their teams, the department heads, everybody was really instrumental in this process that I think spanned the last 6 months. It feels like the last 6 years, but I think it's about the last 6 months. Many special public meetings. Working in lockstep with the Township Committee up here, I think the professionals really were given the task to scrutinize every line item and identify efficiencies. Several departments, we have seen flat or near flat budgets compared to last year. Other departments have realized a decrease in budget compared to last year. Because of this collective effort, we are able to introduce a budget that includes a 5.58% adjustment to the municipal tax levy. This is our lowest such percent adjustment in 4 years. For an average assessed home of $407,000, this equates to $7.84 a month. We continue to prioritize infrastructure and the quality of life by being aggressive in securing outside funding. So a lot of this is possible because we were able to get a lot of grants. So we have $650,000 grant from NJDOT for the Regal Avenue reconstruction, $154,000 grant for pedestrian safety on Walter Ferran. We have over $1 million in grants for our park improvements over the last 3 years, including $1 million grant for Lenape Park in 2026. We're pursuing additional funding for the planned dog park at Blackwell Park and other improvements to our parks. These savings in the budget and our fiscal discipline allow us to focus on one of our core missions, as I said it in the introduction, public safety. So I'm very proud to say that this budget includes $1.7 million bonding for a new fire truck. That is to replace an aging 2003 ladder truck and we have someone here from the fire department, so you can say that I'm right or not, but has spent more time in the repair shop over the last 2 years than in service. Would you say that's correct?
That's correct.
So it's clearly something that we need. As you may know, I've served on the fire department, the 100% volunteer fire department here in Raritan Township. And I know firsthand we cannot compromise on the equipment that protects our families. So this new equipment, it's not just an investment today, it's an investment for the next 20 years. So by leveraging grants, bonding for the long term, especially when it makes sense, making some really difficult decisions that we had to make this year, we're gonna protect the township's future. This budget is a testament to that hard work, and I think the entire municipal team should really be proud, and I think they really worked hard to treat every tax dollar as if it was their own. So, does anyone else have anything to add about this whole process, about the budget?
You did a fantastic job this year.
Okay, so then with that said, thank you. With that said, resolution 26-480, an introduction of the municipal budget. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Cyphers?
Yes.
Mr. Tu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. All right, now back to normal business, the approval of the minutes. There's no correction on the regular meeting minutes for March 3rd, March 17th, our special budget meeting on February 24th and March 10th. Do I have a motion to approve? Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, then executive session meeting minutes for January 20th, February 10th, February 17th, February 24th, and I think February 25th. The whole punched it out, but I think it's February 25th. Or it's just the typo? Typo. Then do I have a motion?
Motion as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, on to new business. There is a, first order of the new business is a special event, Francis A. Demar School Teacher Appreciation Event on the 4th of May, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Request to approve the event with food truck and special event fee waiver.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is another special event, the Flemington Raritan Girls Softball Opening Day event. This is also approve a food truck and special event fee waiver. That'll be at Lenape Park. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the Hunterdon Land Trust Wine and Art at the Farm fundraising event on the 16th of May, 1 to 8 p.m. Request to approve the event and waiver of the special event fee.
You normally go.
I will be going again, yes. Popular event to help add to our open space fundraising with our partner, Hunterdon Land Trust. So, motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. The Greek Festival, which I believe is a festival that occurs every year, June 5th, 6th, and 7th at 85 Voorhees Corner Road. Request to approve the event and also waive the special event fee.
They do a nice job, it is something every year, but last year it's a lot of fun. I, say go out and attend, it's a blast. I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Opa.
Okay, reconstruction of the baseball fields. I think you saw a memo in your packet from Kayla. Of course, we all want to preserve as much open space as we possibly can. I think everyone has heard us say that, and we are backing that up with our actions. But what comes with acquiring a lot of open spaces is also maintaining those open spaces. And in particular, this is where we have some baseball fields that could really use some reconstruction. It comes at about $53,000, but it's for, I think it's for 3 different fields that would be reconstructed.
This year, yeah.
And I think, quite honestly, the fields aren't being used as much as they could be because they're not really up to
It's
the
the
level.
mix that they're using right now on the fields and the amount of, I can put a description, sand that's been put on there, it's very soft, hard to play on.
Yeah.
Quite dangerous, actually, so now the clay mix that we've looked into, over the last few months, will get in there and then hopefully that will attract some of the older teams to come back and therefore keeping our kids here in town and then creating even a better feeder program, for the high school. So I think this will go a long way. It's gonna be great for many of the athletes from Raritan Township and the borough that play out here. I think it's a terrific investment.
I have nothing to add, I fully support it as well. So do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the memo as such. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Seifel?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Okay, ordinance 2611, amending the township's affordable housing and development fee ordinances. This is a public hearing. So and before I open it to the public, I need a report for the planning board.
Okay, the board determined that the ordinance is not inconsistent with the Township of Raritan's map.
Thank you. I bet the clerk thought I was gonna forget that.
You addressed
You were almost right. Okay, then, motion to open the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Seeing no comments from the public, motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and motion to approve ordinance 2611.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Seifel?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. On to ordinance 2612, the farmer's market temporary food license. This is a public hearing, and you've seen it in your packet, so basically this is a change in the fees, the licensing fees, which will now go through the county, so we had to revise the ordinances to support that. I don't need anything from the planning board on this, so motion to open the public hearing.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Seeing no comments from the public, I would look for a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then a motion to approve ordinance 2612.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Seifel?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Ordinance 2613, road reconstruction, lifestyle 80s. This is a public hearing. And to remind everyone, this is a reappropriation of money to do this, this reconstruction of this very needed road repair. So do I have a motion to open to the public?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Seeing no comments from the public, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 2613?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psycho?
Yes.
Ms. Patu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. On to the consent agenda. All matters listed in the consent agenda are considered to be routine, will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Is there anyone that would like to remove and discuss something from the consent agenda? Then can I get a motion to adopt the consent agenda, resolution 26-481 through 26-488?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psycho?
Yes.
Ms. Patu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Resolution 26-489, Hunterdon County Open Space Municipal Grant Application. This is the Vor Farm Historic Preservation Project. This is memorializing what we agreed as a Township Committee, that $100,000 of open space funds would go to the restoration of the Vor Farm. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psycho?
Yes.
Ms. Patu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Resolution 26-490, authorizing emergency temporary appropriations. I think this is our last time we'll need to do emergency appropriations, right, Joe? Okay, you've seen in your packet what's being moved. Do I have a motion to make these moves?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psycho?
Yes.
Ms. Patu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Okay, department reports. You've seen the department reports in your packet. Any comments or thoughts on those reports? I'm always amazed at, looking at the deer harvest report, how many days of hunting it takes to harvest a single deer. It's like 10 or 12 days of hunting. All right,
Deer gets more.
yeah, they must get some more deer.
You think of how many deer there are. So hard.
They're staying away from those areas.
All right, correspondence. Pennsylvania Ave letter from the NJDOT. So this is something where we've already gotten the information. We've done the resolution, or was it by ordinance? I think it was by ordinance. To make the changes on Pennsylvania Avenue for truck traffic. And this is the letter from NJDOT basically saying that they're in full agreement that, we can put up the signage and move forward.
I think the residents are gonna be quite happy with that particular ordinance/resolution, limiting the truck traffic that has been coming through, that particular area, specifically from down the road with the Stengel property. Have the signs gone up yet, or?
Yes. Residents have taken pictures, I've gotten a lot of texts, and they are, to your point, extremely pleased with the direction that we're taking along with other measures that we have in the works.
Okay, excellent. Financial claims for payment. You've seen the bills, payment of the bills for $525,761.50. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psycho?
Yes.
Ms. Patu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. On to liaison reports. I have no Board of Health report this month. And there's no updates on stormwater utility, but I do have a police report. I have two parts of that report, actually. It was a very busy month for our police department. Almost 1,000 calls in the month of March. And on top of that, officers were doing a lot of their training, including disaster preparedness training, interview and interrogation courses, auto theft courses, so they were doing quite a few, training, it looks like 6 different ones, during the month. And, the JMAR is back in business and being used, so we weren't able to use this equipment during the very snowy and, winter, but now it was on River Road near 33 River Road, for almost a month. And that is a 35 mile per hour limit. The, JMAR recorded almost 180,000 vehicles in that month. And with the average speed of 30 miles per hour, so below the speed limit, the 85th percentile was 36 miles per hour, so basically at the speed limit. I think there was one person driving 78 miles an hour, but otherwise, it seems like almost everybody is driving at or below the speed limit.
What was that Tesla?
Can't believe the EV cars. Come on.
That's all I have, so Deputy Mayor for 2.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a planning board meeting tomorrow evening. We're gonna hear an application for a self-storage facility, and I think I'll just make a brief commentary related to a lot of the applications we see coming through the planning board. The planning board did a lot of work in the last couple of years to revise our commercial land use to be more modernized and within the character of the township that we all care about. So that was done, and we support, private landowners from being able to develop their properties. But I know there's a lot of community question about why these kinds of projects that they see going up, et cetera, right now. And really, it's a function of the limit that we have in sewer capacity at the independent RTMUA. So when you think about properties and what it takes from a utilities perspective, they need to tie into all the infrastructure, and right now, one of the limiting factors is sewer capacity. So, you can put up 4 metal walls and a toilet with a few parking spaces, without needing a lot of sewer capacity. That's why we don't see perhaps other types of use that are allowed in those properties and zones around the community. So, it's a bit of a struggle for us from a development perspective, and then we also obviously have a lot of the capacity being taken up by all of the round 3 housing that has gone up that was required to be fulfilled. So that's a little bit of kind of what and why we see going on in the town that I think is important to note for the community. There is a open space meeting tomorrow that will happen before the planning board, and then environmental commission will be Thursday. So I will have updates on those 2 at our next meeting.
Great, thank you. Committeeman McDade fell ill, and I wasn't able to get his reports before the meeting, so
I'm
let's.
pretty sure the courts are running smooth.
They're probably running.
And local historians are looking forward to our 250th.
Semi-quincentennial.
And the Agriculture Advisory Committee did not meet, so I think we actually be accomplished. Then, Committeeman Cyphers.
Thank you, Mayor. Rescue, they had 314 emergency calls last month. That number is up 11.8% from last year. Out of those 314 calls, 224 were in Raritan Township. Year to date, they are at 954. We know that they are at a hybrid model. They do very well between paid staff and volunteer staff. And they are tremendous. They run like a well-oiled machine. They have the fastest response time, not only in Hunter County, but they rival anybody in the state at 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Generally, the average around the state is somewhere upwards of 10 to 14, even 15 minutes, depending on where you are. So our people here do a terrific job. Training, they had some swift water rescue training, high wheel vehicle training as well, and they run a bunch of drills for their people. Rescue ran 2 drills, 2 service drills. They worked with Hunter County as well. So they're doing a great job, really proud of that. DPW is running well. We're out patching roads right now. You're starting to see some of that damage from the winter come out and come about as the weather warms. You're going to see some more blowouts. They are working on that right now, doing a great job. Mowing a lot as well. You can see the grass is starting to grow. So they are out already mowing and getting their field prep, as you heard earlier, and lining the field so the kids can get ready to play. RTMUA doing a great job. We did a study over there, and we are streamlining our payroll system, and that's going really well. We're going to save ratepayers some money. Negotiations, my favorite, will be starting soon. And the plant, we just hired a full-time executive director, Mike Skiz. Mike was part-time He is now a full-time part of our study and making some adjustments over there to get things done at a higher level. He is absolutely tremendous. OEM Insert, they have a lot of different things going on. One is the 250th anniversary, and we know it is. the
Semi-quincentennial.
Thank you, there you go. So they've been working on the parade. The parade will be June 14th, Sunday, June 14th. And they were actually here tonight working on the color run, which I believe is in its 7th or 8th year. So our CERT team is involved in that, our community emergency response team. We just got a couple new members in. If anybody would like to join, please reach out to Chris Phelan. He is tremendous as well. And don't forget, join up for Nixle. That is our community emergency response communication system. And you will hear everything and anything that we have going on in the township at times of need. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, and the Raritan Township app, too.
And the Raritan Township.
Committeeman King.
Thank you, Mayor. My report is short, as many of the meetings are coming forward, and they have not met since our last meeting. So I know we're meeting wildlife management later this month, as well as open space and planning board. We have one of our volunteer fire departments, and they'll meet next Monday, which I'll get updated as to stuff ongoing there. But they're continuing to do a fantastic job, and I can't wait to report of what we're trying to help them with as far as the country goes.
Great, thank you. Now we're at the time for public comment, and this is public comment on any issue, limited to 3 minutes per person. Can I get a motion to open public comment?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Time's yours.
Okay, seeing none, motion to close public comment.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You see the upcoming meetings and topics for meetings listed in your agenda. And I think that's it. We have to return to executive session. So motion to return to executive session.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
It's a quick one.